it allows us to do is define a crew. Then a crew makes up a route. So you may have like Route 1, but there are 6 guys part of Route 1. 6 guys are part of that crew that goes out to do, let's say, mowing lawns or whatever the scenario is. So in the desktop on the route schedule, if you double-click the route name, and we double-click the route name again, you have a section in here called Crew Detail. Here you can pick employees that belong on the crew. So this route, or Route 1, or whoever, is comprised of these employees. Now, these employees are only going to show up if they are on the QuickBooks employee list. So they have to be set up like you would for regular timekeeping with tasks, and then they'll show up here. So far, so good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now on the mobile device, this is all done through a route ticket. So if I go in, let me go ahead and log in as like Route 1. So I go to my schedule, I would go to the stop details, and I would go to create my route ticket like we always would. With the crew tracking enabled, below the arrival and departure time, you're going to see this yellow button and a little yellow box for the time metrics for the ticket. So right now it's showing me that there's a budgeted time of 30 minutes for this stop. That is coming from the route schedule. On the far right, the route time. So that now shows up on the mobile. For customers using it this way, it is labeled as a, what does it say here, combined budgeted time. Meaning if I've got 6 guys normally on that crew, how long is that going to take? If it's 135 minutes, that's for all members of the crew. So it gives me the breakdown that there are currently 3 crew members on this route. So it's 10 minutes per guy. It gets broken down. And then it's saying, well, I've got no actual time logged. This is just estimated and budgeted. Nothing actually has been logged, and I'm under 30 minutes. So the first thing we're going to do is go to crew time. It'll pop out a little side menu where they can load the crew members onto this ticket. And now you will see I've got my 3 crew members on the ticket. I've got Bill, Jason, and Joe. Time on site for each one of the guys is 0. We haven't recorded any time yet. So the first way to get time onto the ticket is just normally doing how we always have, check the arrival time. And then we could go through and fill out our ticket, and then we would do our departure time. When you do your departure time, you get a pop-up that asks me, do you want to update all of the crew time to match this main ticket time? If I hit OK, it puts in my departure, but it also updates my crew time. If you see, I've basically been on there for almost a minute. 0.33 seconds for each person. So it equally divides however long the time span is by each person when you do it that way. Real simple. This will sync into TSP and then would post into timekeeping just like the task stuff does, doing it this way. This is not all it can do. Right now we're just accommodating, okay, you were there from 8 to 9 for an hour, you've got 3 guys, so take that hour divided by 3 to record the time, or however many crew members there are. Well, there are situations where maybe, usually it's Bill, Jason, and Joe on the crew, but what happens if Jason's sick? So Jason is not part of the crew today, so what they can do is just hit the little delete button. Are you sure you want to remove Jason and the related time just from today's ticket? Because maybe he was sick. So it'll recalculate and tell me, okay, I've got 2 people on the crew, so it's now 15 minutes per tech instead of 10 for the 3, and it recalculates my time and everything. Now again, they have situations where a job may span their lunch break, so they need a way to add time, or maybe they were there from 8 to 9 in the morning and then they came back in the afternoon from 1 to 2. Well, we can hit the little view button next to an employee, and we get a breakdown of the crew time. So here we could edit the individual time entries if we need to. We can add time.
Now, would there be a security setting so that just everybody can't do that, or can anybody change that?
It's going to be the way that these crews are operating. There's 6 guys on that crew. Only the crew leader has a phone. So there's no security level setting to control editing the time. It's just assumed that the person having the phone has the authority to operate it in their situation. We'll address it by a case-by-case basis. If someone needs it controlled by a security level, so be it. We'll put it in. Now this shows up on the desktop as well. If you go into a route ticket now, you have a crew detail where you would see, all the employees, their individual times, time on site, and the date. So all that will sync across and show up on this new little detail area on the tickets. Now, even though it'll show up here, the way they'll send it to QuickBooks is just by going to Miscellaneous, Employee Time Tracking, and they'll see it just show up in this list, and then they can post them to QuickBooks.